left off last season. Couple dangerous passes, but nothing to write home about. He was solid for the most part. And when he heats up with the best of them. I mean, the best pass he may have thrown all night was dropped by our boy Brandon Aiyuk in the back of the end zone, which Peyton Manning, Shasky, he wasn't too happy about it. Before we take the lines, listen to Peyton Manning on the Manningcast with Eli and Bill Belichick. By the way, Bill Belichick on Instagram. Hey, Tom Brady, good luck today. We like to party. Belichick is so damn funny.
He's on Insta?
He's on Instagram. You didn't know that?
I'm going to follow him.
Oh, my God. He announced it last Friday. Instaface. Oh. He's unbelievable. He's unreal.
Is he under Belichick?
Yeah, he's under Bill Belichick, baby. His girlfriend probably set up his entire account.
Wow.
Here's Peyton Manning yesterday.
196,000.
Yeah. Oh, it's
You know what
growing.
I respect about Belichick? At least he doesn't do the Mike Francesa, Skip Bayless, Gary Radnich. He's following 15 people.
Yeah, that's up from 12. The original 12.
So let's see. Ocho Cinco, Chris Long, Mike Lombardi, Susie Welch, Tom Brady, the 33rd Team, Belichick Foundation, Eli Manning, Pat McAfee Show, Peyton Manning, NFL Films. God, I love him.
It's a random dude, right? Is it a random dude? What's his name? Go ahead. Don't skip it. Don't skip it.
Burj Narajnan? I don't know who this guy is.
That's who it was. Yeah, I just
high school buddy of his.
I just wanted you to box it. It's like just some random dude. Somebody tweeted, was like, who the hell is that random guy he's following? It was one of the 12.
Give him that last 2 months that Gunnar Henderson got for the Orioles last year. Aldi Rushman, who we're going to see in the home run derby.
Yes. Why you got to do me like that? I didn't. Why you got to do me like that? Here's Manny. No, he was listen to Manny on a Mannycast when Aiyuk dropped that pass.
Man to man, Jennings.
What a throw. Aiyuk, he's a little rusty, Pate. You know, he's missed all training camp.
Hey, get signed, get in training camp. There's a reason for training camp when you need it. We need the reps.
Oh.
Get those contracts done earlier so we can get in training camp. We don't drop balls on opening night.
Right, it's probably one thing catching passes, running routes. All of a sudden you're laying out for a pass, full speed, diving. That's why, those happen in camp. You make those, you practice those. That's just a little rusty right there.
You're still catching balls at a high school field from some quarterback that's 45 years old, my age. You're not catching balls from your quarterback. Get signed, get in camp, and we don't drop the ball.
I love him. Can I just say that I love him? Look, two things can be equally true. You know, Aiyuk, go get your money. But also, dude, this is why we needed you in. That was a touchdown pass. Can we all acknowledge that was a difficult play?
It was a tough play.
I expect him to make that play, but that's a difficult play. I love that he gave the quarterback perspective.
Yeah, but you know what, though? When you make $500,000 or you make $30 million a year, where you get all the guaranteed money, as Guru would say, there's a scoreboard, and then there's a Guru scoreboard, where there's an Aiyuk scoreboard. There's a scoreboard with the Niners winning, and then there's an Aiyuk scoreboard. And the Jackals with Aiyuk. And you know what? When Aiyuk dropped that pass, there was a lot of people saying, oh, you held out for that? You knew that was coming right away.
What was being said in the press box? You were in journalism mode. I was in fan mode.
I don't know what anybody, because, it's very quiet. It's very quiet. But it was like.
What did Guru say? He was sitting right next to you.
I don't remember what he said. I don't remember. It was a Purdy dime. It was his best throw of the game. Possibly his best throw of the game.
It was a dime.
It was an absolute dime.
I was rooting against Vontae.
Purdy makes those difficult throws.
Did you guys see the video I sent to the thread? So one of my buddies like, where's Bonte standing? I'm like, he's right there. Actually, he's standing up right now. Actually, he's got binoculars. That's him. He's in journalism mode. And Bonte was looking out onto the field. You're so tall, right? And so I zoomed in on you on a video. We should actually put this video out and just put #journalism. And it's you staring at the field. Now, my grandfather used to have the binoculars.
Yeah, I bring the binoculars to the seats, too.
But he used the binoculars just to stare at the cheerleaders. Well, Grandpa, I love you. I'm not throwing you under the bus. You would admit that out loud.
I back in my day, I used to do a little something like that. It's like, hey, single day. It's like, oh, there's a girl in section 119. Ooh, that's a little creepy.
Stop it.
I'm looking to see what's going on the sideline. Who's talking to who? Is there any friction? Who's hurt? Who's in the blue tent? Who's walking off the field? Who's on the field? Who's in the huddle?
You were giving me a lot of updates because I was like, where is Aaron Banks? Why is Burford playing left guard? Where is Trent Williams? Why is he walking to the, into the tunnel? Like, what's going on here? So I love that.
Yeah, no, the binoculars, it was great. I almost left the house. I was like, oh, let me grab my binoculars. I hadn't used them in so many years.
What
but
brand?
It was great. So I had two binoculars. I had two pair of binoculars. I don't know what happened to one of them. My mama gave them to me for free from a thrift store. These other binoculars, is it Nikon, whatever the brand that is, whatever.
Oh, anyway. So Andre Agassi style.
Yeah, so check this out. One day I was going to school. I've had these for over a decade.
Oh, wow.
So I parked on Uniparacera, like Holloway. I was going to SF State at the time. I walk and I see an examiner. I was like, I wrote an article in yesterday's examiner. Let me grab it and clip it so I can put it in my personal notebook. So I'm grabbing a newspaper out the newspaper stand, the examiner, and there's a pair of binoculars in there. I swear to God. So I looked around and I was like, I threw them in the backpack and sprinted to school.
You're not wrong.
It's like it came up. Somebody, I don't know who put a pair of binoculars in the newspaper. True story. You can't make this up. In a newspaper stand. So I made sure to go home and sanitize them and do all that stuff. And it's like, dude, I got me some great binoculars. It's unbelievable.
That's why you read newspapers, kids.
That's why you read newspapers. Yeah. So I was about to say, I still have them. So it was great to have them yesterday. See Big Trent, just great, just mauling dudes. Like when you're looking up close and you're seeing the line play and how quickly they get off the ball, 49ers are a step ahead of a lot of teams, man. It is scary.
God, they're so good.
They're so good. Let's go to the lines, man. 888-957-9570. We got a lot going on here. McCaffrey, any concern there? There's a lot to bounce around here today on the Morning Roast, plus Jerry Rice, 8:30. Let's go to Vincent in Columbus, Ohio. Let's start in Ohio today. Vincent, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys. I wanted to actually tell you guys something. I started my own NFL podcast, and I just kind of wanted to thank you guys for being kind of an inspiration. I've been listening to your show, and I've really liked it.
Oh, cool. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. What's the name of the podcast? Plug your podcast.
The Vinny Sportscast.
Ooh, I like it. Okay. Talking about everything or just Niners?
Yeah, I just do NFL weekly previews and recaps, and then Steeler ones specifically. So, yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
What you got on the game?
Yeah, Fred Warner, he's amazing. Like, just his peanut punch every time, it's amazing. And I thought Lenore was really good in the slot, just jamming and deflecting the pass, too.
You know, there's something there with Fred. Everything. Thanks for the call, Vince. Fred Warner, last year at Pittsburgh, when he hit Najee Harris, the game was basically over at that point. And that was very early, but it sent shockwaves throughout Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, throughout that entire stadium. Acrisure Stadium, whatever the hell the name is. It's not Heinz Field anymore. And that game was basically over. Yesterday, he punches out the ball with Breece Hall.
It's incredible.
And it's just like, I know the Niners only scored 3 points. They ended up trailing afterwards. But it was like, welcome to 2024. Do you remember me? Because when we talk about Bosa, the defensive line, edge, depth, the secondary, what's up with Hufanga? We have not talked a lot about Fred Warner and how good he is.
I think one thing that we just underrate in the game of football is like, how physical the Niners are.
Yep.
And I know that's like a silly thing, like, well, if you just out-hit the opponent. No, there are certain teams throughout the regular season, not in the playoffs, because all the teams in the playoffs, they're there for a reason. But there are teams in the regular season, you hit them, and they don't want to.
Yeah, they tap out.
Exactly.
Sauce Gardner tapped out yesterday.
You kept saying that. Why are you? You were saying that to the thread.
Because I watched him try to, when they started running the ball, when the Niners went on that touchdown drive, it took the lead 10-7, and they went on a drive, a 12-play drive, and they only dropped back to pass 3 times on the possession. 3 times. They just basically ran the ball down the Jets' throat, whether it's Debo or Jordan Mason. And Sauce, at some point in the second quarter, was on the sideline with his helmet off. Now, I'm not sure if he was hurt. I'm not sure what the update is with him. I haven't paid attention to the Jets side of things. After the game, we got a quick turnaround. But I'm looking at him, and the way he was moving, he wasn't moving with the same swagger that he was in the first quarter. He was like, you know what? I got to get on my horse, man. They're running right at me. And so corners like him, who love to just cover and not tackle, he's got some Dion in him. He did not want to be in that football game. I could tell right away. He's like, Sauce don't want to be in a type of game like this. He wants to be in a game where a team's dropping back 45 times and throwing the ball around. When they were running at him, tap out, I'm good.
Well, I think this Jets team is going to be a different team 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks from now. I don't know how good, but that's a team that clearly needs to gel more. One thing was very evident to me. Aaron Rodgers' arm is still great.
Yep.
But he felt pressure before it even came.
Yeah.
I thought he was skittish and afraid to hit his back step, and he was going 2 and 3 step drops and trying to get rid of the ball and just going to his first read. There was a lot of short timing route stuff to the outside. He had a beautiful throw on the touchdown pass where we jumped off sides and Niners jumped off sides. Right. But other than that, I didn't see the same elusive, Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to extend the play and move around a little. It just, I think you've got to give him some time. I'm not here to question. It's his first game back.
And they're going to ride Breece Hall to try to get the run game going in New York City and take some of the pressure off of Rodgers. But defensively, that Jets defense that was highly touted, Very underwhelming yesterday. Very underwhelming. All right, more coming up. Zach in Redwood City. Tony in the city. We're going to get to you next. 888-957-9570. Christian McCaffrey. Any concern there, folks? He was out yesterday. Did not play due to the calf/Achilles injury. How long will that linger? Sounds like he could be out for a while here. Your concerns there? Can the Niners overcome that? They certainly did last night, and we'll continue to discuss